Hey there, welcome back to the Barnabas Arcade Cyclone game. So in this video, we're going to add a button to our arcade game. Up to this point, we've added all the LEDs and we've also programmed them to flash in a circle one at a time. So you want to go ahead and get your button out of the kit. If you look at the bottom right there, you're going to see the button. Here it is. All right, got this yellow thing on top and then 4 legs. Okay, and then you're going to have a colored, I guess, button top to put on top. Mine's green. Yours might be a different color. It really doesn't matter what color. And you have 2 buttons in there. We're going to work with one of them first. So the first thing, let's go ahead and snap this in there. Let me change my camera view. There we go. Okay, so this will just snap in like that on top. Just push a little bit, and there you go. All right, now the first thing I want you to notice is that it clicks. You push down, it clicks, and you let go, it clicks again. All right, this is called a momentary push button. The reason why it's momentary, because when you push it, it will stay there for the moment, but then when you let go, it pops back up. All right, so yeah, so now how does it work? Well, there's 2 different states. Okay, when I say states, it means 2 different situations. One situation when it's pressed, one situation when it's not pressed. All right, so we know that there's 2 different situations or 2 different states. Now let's look at these legs here. How many legs do we see here? If we look at it, we have 4 legs. Okay, it's a little blurry. Let me back up. 4 legs. All right, and the button, we want to look at it like this. 4 different legs, and let's actually, to explain them, let's go to our whiteboard here. All right, and let's go to this view here. Good. Okay, so we have our button, and our button looks like this, right? There's the push button part, and then it's got 4 legs like this. Okay, yeah, looks like the drawing, pretty much. All right, now here's the thing to know electrically about these legs. The top 2 legs here, there's actually a metal wire that connects the top 2 legs. Okay, and then the bottom 2 legs are also connected. That's always the situation. All right, doesn't matter if the button's pressed or not pressed, the top legs are connected to each other, the bottom legs are connected to each other. And I like to just call them, top one is A, the bottom is B. All right, so the A goes across the top, B goes across the bottom, and then make sure that when we're looking at the button, okay, that the legs aren't up here. Okay, if it looks like that, then it's going to get confusing. You want to make sure that your legs are on the side, okay, like a spider. Okay, so now we have that going. So what happens when you push down the button? Well, let me draw some dotted lines here. Dotted line means that sometimes A and B are connected, sometimes A and B are not connected. So when you press down the button, this is what happens. A becomes connected with B. In other words, all the legs are connected to each other. So you have electricity on A, it's going to pass down to B. If you have electricity on B, it'll pass down to A. Because then basically you see a path. There's electricity. Let's say there's electricity here. It can follow the path and jump across our bridge and go to A. Okay? But if the button is not pressed and there's electricity here, can it jump over to A? No, there's no path because the button's not pressed and there's no path from A to B. Okay, so now that we know that, we can use that logic, basically how this button works, to add a new function, some new behaviors to our arcade game. All right, I'm backing up here. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna connect the wire to pin number 10, okay? And I say let's use green. Okay, there's a bunch of different wires. Let's see if you can see. Oh, Yeah, bottom right. Of that rainbow bunch of wires, you can peel off the green one here. There should be 2 spikes, okay? Spike on each side. So you're going to connect the green one to 10. Okay? The green one to 10. So one side to 10, the other side to the top leg of the button. Now the bottom leg, or leg B, where will we connect it? We will connect it to here, which is connected to G and D. Okay? So that's my design, but now let me explain the design. How's this going to work? Well, let's just think about it hypothetically. So, if the button is not pressed, what happens? What is pin 10 connected to if it's not pressed? Well, let's draw some yellow highlighter, okay? So 10 is here. And if it's not pressed, let's see. Let's say there's electricity. I'm just going to call it electricity. Then we're here. If it's not pressed, can 10 get all the way to G and D? Because it's trying to get to G and D. Well, if it's not pressed, can it jump over? No, there's no path here. So, and can it go from here? No, there's no connection here. So it's just stuck. So if it's not pressed, 10 is not going to be connected to G and D. Okay. But if I do press it down, what happens? A path is created from A to B. And 10 then is saying, oh, I want to get to G and D. And that's kind of another thing for you to know. Electricity is always going to try to get to G and D. It's kind of like gravity, right? If you have an apple falling from the tree, if it's falling, it's going to try to get to the ground. Same thing with electricity. So he's going, and it's like, oh, wow, look, I have a path. So it's going to go down and follow, and then look, it's going, and it can get to G and D, boom. Okay? So what have we learned here? When we press the button, pin 10 can get to G and D. So, but then if we don't press the button, it cannot. All right, so that's all we need to know. Now, when we use the blocks, this will also make some more sense. Let me erase that. Okay, because we're gonna use blocks to program it, but we're going to be looking at pin number 10, right, for the button. So, let's first wire it up. All right, let's go to our breadboard here. Okay, we take our button, and we have the legs on the sides, right? And I want you to take it and put it across the valley. So you see this valley right here? We're going to put it across the valley like this. Okay? You got to kind of wiggle it. Don't force it too much. You don't want the legs to bend and then kind of get bent, get broken off. If you bend the legs too much, they can break off. So you kind of be kind of careful. But I have it down here. So I have the top legs. Sorry, let me wiggle it a little bit more here. There, I think that's good. The top legs are on my row 28, and the bottom legs are on row 30. So if you want to kind of do exactly what I do, you can just put the top legs on row 28 and the bottom legs on row 30. All right, so let me talk about a little bit more about this breadboard. So before, all I said was the blue columns are all connected, the red columns are all connected. All right. Same thing on this side as on this side. All the blues on this side are connected and all the reds on this side. But what about all this stuff in the middle? How does that work? Well, the way that it works is that, I'm gonna grab a little pointer here. You see each of these rows starting from 1 all the way to 30, okay? They each have 5 holes. So if you count it, I'll just count right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So 5 holes on a row. Actually, I'll just draw it in with this pencil. You can kind of see it, kind of dull. But these 5 all those holes are connected together. Okay? Now, let's look at this valley. What does the valley do? The valley separates these two sets of 5. So here's a set of 5 here on row 19. On row 19 on this side, there's also a set of 5. So on this side, all these holes are connected together as well. So you have on the inside part of the breadboard, you have groups of 5 that are all connected together. Now, if it's on the same row, it's connected to each other. So if this hole and this hole, right, they're on the same row, that means they're connected to each other. But this hole and this hole, they are on the same row, but they're not connected because they're separated by the valley. Okay? So that's how it works. Might sound like really confusing, so let's just do a demonstration. All right, so I'm going to take this green wire and just stick it right here on row 19, this third hole here. So if I were to take this and put it on the same row 19, same row and the same side of the valley, so it's not on this side, this wire is connected to itself. Okay? But if I were to take this and bring it over here, see, it's still on row 19, right? But it's on the other side of the valley. This is not connected to that. All right, now what if I took this and put it over here? Are these two connected to each other? No, because they're not on the same row. Okay? That's all we need to know. Now, a little bit tricky thing. What do we do here? Look at the button. The button, the top 2 legs, I know it's being blocked, okay? It's being blocked by this green. Let me see if I did. But you can see here. Yeah, there, you can see it better this way. But the top legs of my button here, they're connected to row 28. So one button on this side of the valley. Sorry, one leg on this side of the valley, and then one leg on this side of the valley. So based on what I told you about the button, what does that mean? Well, if you remember, it's going back to our diagram here. You see the top 2 legs? I had labeled A here. The top 2 legs, they are connected to each other. They're bridged together at all times. Doesn't matter if you push the button or don't press the button. So if I connected our button like this, what does that mean with all these holes? Well, if this leg right here is connected to this leg right here, and they're on the same row, that means that these 2 legs act like a bridge, and that means this hole, all these holes on row 28, are also now connected to all the holes on the other side of the valley on row 28 because of the bridge that the 2 top legs create. Okay, and same thing on the bottom. So that's something to keep in mind as we start wiring, because now you have a lot of different places to connect to for A and also B, because same thing. You have all these holes are connected to all these holes right here. All right. Okay, I'm gonna put my you know what? I'll leave this off for now. Let's go to our diagram. So we want to connect A, the top row, to pin number 10 using a green wire. Okay, I think we could do this. Okay, here's my green wire. So top row is going to be row 28 for me right here. Same row as the top leg of the button, so I could put it right there. Okay, or I could put it on this side too. Doesn't matter because the entire row is connected together. Now the other side needs to go to pin number 10. We've been doing this for a while, so there we go. Is that 10? Should be 10. Yep, that's 10. All right, easy enough. Let's go back to our... Then the bottom leg B needs to connect to G and D. All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab a gray wire. Gray is close to black, so if you want to use a black wire, that's fine. But go ahead and peel peel off from your rainbow wire harness and get either gray or black. And let's do our G and D connection. So the bottom row B goes to G and D. Okay. Bottom row would be any of these or any of these. Just to be cool, I'm going to go to the other side. It has to be on row 30. And then go to G and D. Now, I could go G and D on the Uno. Actually, I can't. There's no more G and Ds, right? But remembering what happened from before, where is their G and D on the breadboard? Where is their entire blue column of G and Ds? Right here. So I'm just going to stick it on this column of blue G and Ds. There we go. And we are done wiring our button. Very cool. All right, now I'm going to put this on. All right, so we have it wired up. Now we need to do some coding. And I think what I'll do is leave that to the next video. All right, I'll see you in a minute.